It's your boy Monute. Welcome to the Vendetta Army.
What up, people? What up? Don't mind me laughing because we already did about 10 minutes and I wasn't recording, so that's why there's a chuckle on both our faces right now because we was going off, and I looked up at him and was like, "Hey man, guess what? We wasn't recording." So take two. It's your boy Big Will, my cousin Dre Mac from the Dre Mac Show. We're here today bringing you the first episode of Raw Talk, where two family members get together and we talk about the things that brought us together and made us family and made us love each other like brothers, even though we're cousins, and that is World Wrestling Entertainment. What up, Dre?
Right. Or WCW. You can't leave
well,
out.
They're not around no more, so you know.
Well, I know. I'm telling you, before we even get started, the first match that Manu ever showed me, and I still will never forget that, Starrcade 89.
88.
Yeah.
It was 88.
Huh?
It was 88.
It was 88. It was 88. Okay. It was 88 because it was the match of the night was Luger versus Ric Flair. Yep. And that was the first. This is why. This is why I'm gonna get to my figure four leg lock thing in a minute. But anyway, since we're talking about Raw, we're gonna go on and start talking about how our thoughts on Raw. So I'm going to be reading this from Bleacher Report, everybody. So don't hit the comment section and be like, wait a minute, that sounds like what they talked about on Bleacher Report. Yes, I'm going to read the match card off of Bleacher Report, but I'm going to discuss my thoughts, and Manuka's going to discuss his thoughts. So again, Raw started off on the eve of a blockbuster night from SummerSlam. So new Universal Champ Seth Rollins kicked off the evening show fresh off a clean victory off of Brock Lesnar in the main event of SummerSlam. Rollins applauded the fans for reminding him what it took to beat Brock Lesnar and what he had to do to be the Beast Slayer again. Before he could go on, the music of the United States Champion AJ Styles played, and the OC interrupted the proceedings. Styles challenged Rollins to a champion versus champion match, to which the face of Raw accepted. Now, awesome promo from AJ Styles, the OC, and Seth Rollins. It set up the events of Raw, teased it for all night. You kind of anticipated, because anytime you have AJ Styles in a match with somebody on the caliber of Seth Rollins, you're going to have an awesome match. And I was looking forward to this. Good promo, short and sweet, to the point, teased a lot of stuff. OC didn't really get involved, even though they teased it. I thought it was an excellent promo.
Yeah, like I said, for those of you who don't know, I didn't get to watch Raw last night because I had some technical issues here with my cable, but I did follow it via social media, and when I heard about this promo, I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting them to give Rollins his opponent so quickly, but I was like, cool, it's AJ. I'm happy with it. I think they'll put on good matches. I hope it's not a one-off. I hope they put on a couple matches. Only thing I got a problem with is that now this lets me know that they're probably done with Ricochet, which I was looking forward to seeing him and Ricochet, because to me, they still haven't tapped their potential yet in a match. But maybe they'll throw a triple threat in there, which I'm cool with.
Right, and like I said, this set up the events for the whole entire event for Raw tonight. So Ricochet and a couple other twisted turns came in Raw. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing exactly this arc. What is this arc going to be? What is AJ Styles going to do? What is Ricochet going to do as far as, especially if they're putting AJ Styles back in the main event circle, especially the Universal title circle? What does that mean for Ricochet? What does that mean for the United States Champion? What does that mean for the OC involved? This was probably one of the best setups for Seth Rollins for a new opponent in a while. So I absolutely was starting to get engaged in what Raw was going to do.
Yep.
Then you had go ahead.
Before we go to the next segment. Also, now maybe he will have a meaningful title run if they leave the man out of it and let him do the things on his own.
In the way that Raw kicked off, or the way Raw was tonight, I am absolutely looking forward to seeing what direction that they do. And I don't want WWE to blow it. So please, WWE, do not blow this. I believe you have a perfect opportunity right now to be able to set up something really, really good. And not only just for Seth Rollins, but for Becky Lynch also. So man, please don't mess this up. But going to the second segment, Sami Zayn mouth got him in trouble again Monday as he talked trash on Samoa Joe during a backstage segment, also involving the Street Profits. It led to a match between the underdog from the underground and the Destroyer. Joe unleashed his frustration on Zayn and choked him out with a coquina clutch. After the match, Joe grabbed the mic and took exception to the people thinking he could ever have something to do with the heinous attacks on Roman Reigns. For that, he would never forgive them. Sami Zayn got destroyed. The end, period. That was it.
Want the smoke.
we want the smoke.
The only thing I cared about this was Street Profits got more screen time. They got more screen time. Also, I'm not going to just no sell Joe. I love Joe. I hate that it's taking him this long to finally do something with him. You know, now maybe we thought he was going to maybe turn face, but he decided to say screw you to the fans. So we still got that going. But like I said before we had to start over, maybe they still going to do it. They just indecisive. They want to test the waters. So they're planting the seeds to maybe he still may turn face. You know, and maybe it's going to take something drastic like him getting screwed over real bad, or him helping out Roman when Roman's getting demolished, and he'll come in and help him out, and he'll be like that anti-face. He'll be a heel that's extremely over.
What I don't want to happen is the Rock and Rikishi way back in what I want to say that was like 2001.
I thought they was going that way too.
I just don't want that to happen. I just don't want that to happen. If they do anything, because again, with Roman, I think this is good for Roman too, because Roman wasn't on SummerSlam. Matter of fact, there was a lot of people that wasn't on SummerSlam that should have been on there. But with Roman not being on SummerSlam, even though he was advertised, maybe they're pushing something for Roman, because Roman is not in the title picture right now. He's just, he's kind of doing his thing, and he's not being forced. Again, remember all the Roman's being forced down our throats. We hate Roman. We hate Roman. Then the leukemia came back. He was able to fight that. Film Hobbs and Shaw during his rehab and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Then he came back, and the crowd has not turned on him.
Nope.
You know what I mean? At all. Period.
But also they haven't force fed him. Has he had a title match since he's came back?
I don't think so.
So that could be it too.
I don't think so.
The fans like Roman. They just don't want Roman to be. They don't want Roman to be Charlotte Flair. They don't want Roman to be in the title picture every month.
Right. And they pulled that back from Charlotte Flair too. So that was actually smart. Actually, to me, that's smart booking. Yeah. Because if they're not going to turn him heel, which I believe he should have been heel a long time ago. When he was WWE champion and they booed the crap out of him. I would have just immediately turned this dude heel, made him, kind of like how Rocky became heel, after winning the belt. So
they gave him the Bautista treatment.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, like I said, the segment was okay. The segment with the Street Profits and Sami Zayn and Joe backstage was awesome. Yeah. The match itself wasn't nothing to be excited about, because he just smashed him.
It was typical what Sami Zayn's role now is. He's R-Truth without the comedy.
Right, basically. But R-Truth is awesome. And I'm going to get to, I can't wait to get to that, the R-Truth segment, the 24/7 champion. But, so the next segment was Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, Dolph Ziggler feigned an injury, announced to the world he would not wrestle The Miz after enduring 3 straight spears from Goldberg at SummerSlam. There was a ruse, of course, as he attacked a Hollywood A-lister heading into commercial break. The show-off controlled the bout, working over his battered opponent. Miz fought back, though, and robbed Ziggler, basically. From there, he applied the figure 4 leg lock, forcing a tap out from the world champion, the former world champion. After the match, Ziggler grabbed the microphone and insulted the victor, claiming Maurice was a better wrestler in the Byzantium family. Miz headed back to the ring and delivered a skull-crusher finale to wrap up the segment. Before we was recording, I said that The Miz puts on one of the worst figure 4 leg locks in the history of figure 4 leg locks. Actually, Monute has put on a better figure 4 leg lock on me when we were 12 and 13 than The Miz does right now. I do not like it. And why did Dolph tap to that? Nobody taps to the figure 4 leg lock. Nobody.
Especially from The Miz.
Man, they had Dolph tap to the figure.
You know why? You know why? Because Dolph is the best seller in the business. And Dolph made The Miz's horrible figure 4 leg lock look like it was the worst thing that's ever been put on anybody in the world.
Matter of fact, if you go back and look at Dolph's leg. You know you got to kind of have his leg be, basically his ankle has to be above the knee to be able to put the figure 4 leg lock on good. To make it for real sell. And it was past it was like on his shin. I'm like, oh my God. But he sold it. He sold it.
Yeah, he's the best seller in the business.
He is. He sold Goldberg's spear though at SummerSlam. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And that's why Goldberg speared him that many times, because that match, I know we talking about Raw, but I got to speak on this. That match was pretty much a redemption for Goldberg.
Yes.
That's why he could have just been one spear, jackhammer, leave. But no, Dolph had to talk mess. Goldberg come out, do it to him again, because Dolph is the best seller in the business. He's going to make it look like that Goldberg got shot out of a cannon and destroyed him. So that's why they wanted to make Goldberg. They wanted to make Goldberg look good. So they said, Dolph, go out there and take 3 of the most horrendous looking spears that's ever been done to anybody in the history of WWE. Dolph was like, okay, that's what I'll do. I got it.
And what's funny is that's what made Goldberg's career. People forget that. And people didn't watch WCW back in the day and remember when Goldberg debuted all the way until he won his title in Atlanta, Georgia. This is exactly what Goldberg was. Because the man came in, speared you a couple times. He wasn't going to put on a 5-star match. And that was it. Mm-hmm. That was it. So it was a good thing for him. But as far as like the Miz gave him a skull crusher finale. After you got the yapping, yap it off at the mouth. He sold it. Game over. It is what it is. It was a filler match for Raw. Pretty good segment. I mean, I just don't know what they're doing with Dolph, and probably Dolph is just putting over people now. I don't know.
Well, to be honest though, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I don't think this is over with them, because they're best friends, and everybody knows best friends put on the best shows.
Right.
So, and they're finally getting really work together. Cause them being best friends like they are, they haven't really had that much work together.
Right.
So
true.
They may be their idea.
Right.
So,
and like I said, anytime that you have Miz on TV, Miz is people really hated when he was a world champion and stuff like that. But over the years, if you really look, Miz is one of the best talents, in the business. He's a of course, he's a company guy. He's a good guy. He always comes to work. He always does. He takes the crap that you give him, and he makes it work. Mm-hmm. So I tremendously really like Miz. I don't like his face turn. I like heel Miz. I like heel Dolph a lot more than I like face Dolph. You know what I mean? But heel Ziggler, put it more like that. His Twitter now. I like heel Ziggler.
His Twitter handle.
I like heel Miz. Yeah. So
it is what it is.
It is what it is. So, all right. So, going to the next segment was Ricochet versus Elias. So, Elias offered any superstar interested in interrupting him an opportunity to get it over with. No one answered, giving them false hope that his performance would go off without a hitch. Ricochet finally did appear and said Elias sucks. The match got underway. Elias sent Ricochet flying over with a wicked back body drop and controlled the match. Monumentary comeback ended with the one and only crash to the floor. Back inside the square circle, Elias teased utilizing his guitar, but the official pulled it out the way. Ricochet delivered the big kick to the head and surprised Elias with a pinfall victory. Ricochet defeated Elias. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to say this because I love Ricochet, and I do believe Elias is Macho Man's son. I don't care what anybody thinks, but because he looks like Macho Man, I don't care. He's a Pablo son. Well, Lenny Pablo. He says somebody's son. But anyway,
Bonesaw.
Bonesaw McGraw.
Bonesaw's ready.
Man, if they gave Elias the Macho Man gimmick, I would absolutely love it.
They won't do that.
Looks like Macho Man. But anyway, he's built like Macho Man too. But anyway, this match was very, very sloppy. There was a botch. Oh my! And they caught the close-up of the botch because these two never really worked together before.
Oh yeah, they never touch. It's hard for two people who never touch to put on a good match.
So there was a extreme botch between both of them. It was supposed to be some type of roll-up, but Elias missed him, and it was just, and the camera caught it close up, and it was bad. It was extremely bad. But as far as selling, Elias did get a couple moves off that Ricochet, so it wasn't a good match. It wasn't a great match because again, these guys never really got to touch, before and really got to, get engaged into the match. Towards the end of the match, it started to become a little bit better, because there was big moves, big finishes. But other than that, it was just a coup for Ricochet because Ricochet is now getting over, which he's another guy. Him and Cedric Alexander are really putting on some really good performances as individuals right now. Ricochet, of course, is awesome. I've been following him since he was in Lucha Underground, if I'm not mistaken.
Prince Puma.
Prince Puma. So I've been following Ricochet for a while. I believe he was in New Japan also. So he's a very good wrestler. Very good. Can sell his behind off, and he sold a lot of Elias's moves. Elias is not that great to me. His stick, the whole coming to the ring and performing is starting to get old. Which my guy from Watch Culture, WWE said it too. It's getting old, and I honestly believe that. So. You know what would help that, not to go off topic, if they actually let him sing for real and stop doing it, because he actually is a good performer. I mean, you can't be that talented with that instrument and then be horrible singing. Or otherwise, why would you do it? You know what I'm saying? If they let him actually go out there, not I'm saying go out there and do an actual concert, but stop making them go out there and be off key. They never let when they do music acts in WWE, they never let the person actually do a good job. It always has to be a joke. Let them go unless it's The Rock. Yeah, unless it's The Rock. Let them go out there and actually do good, and it may get back over. Right. But the match itself, it wasn't that great. It was okay, but it wasn't that great. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this one I didn't even get to see any highlights on it really, except for when they came to the ring and then I guess the finish. But I figured that it was probably just high spots, Ricochet's sale for Elias, because Ricochet is part of that trio of being one of the best sellers in the business. That's why I was looking forward to him and AJ. Two great sellers like that. I'm still salty about that's over. But yeah, I figured that I don't know why they made it such a big deal. Ricochet had to get like a sneaky win. Let him just beat Elias. It's Elias. Right. Why they got to be all surprised? Oh my God, he got to see. What you mean? Oh my God, this Ricochet going against Elias. Elias is a nobody. He's really not. I didn't get that. Why I had to make such a big deal of him getting like a sneaky roll up. I don't know why he couldn't hit his finisher on him and be done with it. Right.
But I anticipate these guys are probably going to have a lot more matches and house shows. They're going to touch a lot more. And this
it's just probably where it's going to happen. I think it was just they've probably been touching their house shows, just not enough. But they're probably going to be touching more like you said on house shows, so they unless he's just there to get Ricochet over, which basically that's all Elias is right now, is another tackling dummy. But
basically, with them not having any direction aside from the tournament that we're probably going to talk about later, they need something for them to do. So hey, let these two work, and hopefully they'll start putting on some good matches, and it may end up going down as a nice little mid to end of the year feud. We'll see.
Yep, you never know. So now that I got to get ready for my Rey Mysterio Andrade match, I got to put on my luchador mask.
I was wondering what you was grabbing for. I'll go ahead and give you the rock clock.
Yes, I'm back with my luchador mask because my man Rey Mysterio is putting over people, and I believe it is awesome. Let me tell you. So, the rivalry between Rey Mysterio and Andrade continued Monday with the 2 out of 3 falls match. El Dolito, or how do you, El Idolo, I don't know what I was saying because I can barely see in this mask, but prevented.
It sounded like you said El Dorito. That's what it sounded like you said.
Probably did say El Dorito, but with interference from Zelina, from Zelina Vega, and added leverage from the ropes to pick up the win. In the fall number 1 early, because that first fall was like 30 seconds. That's what it felt like.
Oh, it was the best out of 3.
It was 2 out of 3.
Oh,
match. So the first roll, it seemed like it was just, it felt like a minute, and he already got a pinfall over him. Then Mysterio on the defensive delivered a ugly head scissors driver from the outside for a strong near fall. Andrade was able to kick out, evading the defeat. Vega continued to make his presence felt, but Mysterio was able to deliver the 619. He tried for the frog splash, but Andrade got his knees up, which was actually good. Andrade is looking like a complete new oh my god. And capitalizing on the from the staggered future Hall of Famer, Andrade delivered a hammer-like DDT, which oh my god, that was awesome. DDT to pick up the second fall. He literally got him in 2 falls. Mysterio wasn't even able to get a fall off. So it was literally 2 falls. Andrade looked good. Rey Mysterio looked like this is okay. The reason why I got my Rey Mysterio mask on, because I'm a big Rey Mysterio fan. Ever since he announced that there were 2 or 4 or however, ever since he got thrown into that television it wasn't the television. It was like what did he get thrown on WCW that night?
The production truck.
Ever since then, I've been a fan. He's awesome, but he's also in a position where he can be able to put people over, and he's been putting Andrade over, making Andrade look awesome. Andrade, to me, is one of the future upcoming stars. He has a lot of that Guerrero. And I'm talking about Eddie Chavo. The way that he wrestles, the way he maneuvers in the ring, very good technical wrestler, very good with his moveset. The guy is going to be a superstar one day. I do truly believe in the next maybe 2 or 3 years, this guy is going to be a world champion. They're going to put a rocket on his back because he's just that good in the ring. And Rey Mysterio is at a point in time right now where he could be putting people over, and this is what you need to do with guys like Rey Mysterio, the older people like what Trish Stratus did with Charlotte Flair. Get these guys, these legends. These guys are legends. Let them start putting over people, man. Let them boost the career of somebody, just like somebody boosted their career back in the day. I'm all down for luchadors. I'm all down because I have Spanish heritage, so I'm all down for my luchador.
You don't got it. Stop telling that lie, boy.
All right, you want me to pull up my FamilyTreeDNA.com?
You know, lie. I don't got it. So if I don't got it, you don't got it.
I got it. I got it.
I'm just messing with you. I know you're a Ray fan, and like I say, ladies and gentlemen, Nacho Negro right here. Welcome them to the show, Nacho Negro. But it's sad to see what they're doing with Ray. But you know what? Ray's the type of veteran. He probably is asking for this. He sees Andrade as the next big thing for the Mexican culture in WWE. Yeah. So he's probably asking, let me put Andrade over.
Yes.
Let me take all these L's to Andrade. He already got his U.S. title reign, which made him to hold every single title that the WWE has ever had. He already got that out the way. So now his career is good.
Yeah, I mean, unless they make him Universal Champion, well, really that title doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. That's why they didn't bring it up. So I think Ray is good now. He's probably like, you know what? I'll put over Andrade any way I can to make him the next big thing for the Mexican culture. So a lot of people are upset what's going on with Ray, but I'm guarantee you it's by Ray's choice because he's that. They brought him back specifically to put over Andrade. I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
Now, the whole segment backstage with him talking about my family. I don't know where that's going, if he's talking about quitting, but it's probably he's probably there to put over Andrade or whoever else he needs him to put him over. I mean, he's done everything in his career, and if he's happy where he's at, then I'm happy because again, I'm a Rey Mysterio fan. I like luchadors. I mean, to me, though the wrestlers like Andrade don't come that often, that's so technically sound, and people don't give him a lot of credit for that. Andrade is very technically sound in the ring, and he tells a great story in the ring. And he can sell. He's an all-around talent. You know what I mean? So it's good for Andrade. Looked like a complete monster, versus, I mean, it wasn't one of their best matches, but I believe it was time for Ray, Ray to go out in the sunset, and that's the perfect guy to put over. So I'm down for it.
Yep.
All right. So the next segment on here was Cedric Alexander versus Drew McIntyre. Honestly, the best match of the night. Point blank. Period. I don't care what anybody say. Drew McIntyre versus Cedric. Was not expecting this. This match was awesome. Let me tell you what happened on the card. Cedric Alexander already had one victory over Drew McIntyre about the time they took to the squared circle Monday night. The former Cruiserweight champion sought out to make a 2-0 against the Scottish Psychopath this week. A missile dropkick stunned McIntyre early, but the former NXT champion grounded Alexander, using his power advantage to impose his will on the smaller opponent. Alexander fought back, though, and the match set up off the top rope. The Senator Scott, though, encountered and delivered a big side effect to the mat below.
You read?
Yeah, I know. I'm having a hard time reading right now. And McIntyre added a punishing chop. Alexander recovered and delivered the lumbar check on the floor. Back inside, McIntyre tried for the Claymore, but Alexander caught him with a small package for the two. On the top rope, he drove his opponent to the mat below with a top rope Spanish fly, which was dope. Oh my God, that was good. The action continued as Alexander encountered the inverted Alabama slam into a victory roll for the two. With the combatants recovered, McIntyre delivered a wicked Claymore that turned Alexander inside out and secured the victory. McIntyre defeated Alexander. Man, when I tell you I've never seen anybody get kicked that hard with a Claymore before, man, this dude sold that so well. It dropped my jaw. The Spanish fly off the top rope was awesome. The Claymore kick was awesome. I did not think, I knew Cedric Alexander was a good performer, but I was not expecting this from Drew McIntyre. It made Drew McIntyre look good. It made Cedric Alexander look good. Great match. Cedric Alexander got a clean pinfall. The match itself should have been on SummerSlam. It was that good. They gave these guys time to wrestle. It made Drew look good. It made Cedric Alexander look good. All in all, thumbs up match, top star match. Awesome match.
Okay. I'm glad the match was good because they always, when they get to, from the moment they put these two together, I was like, wow. Because at first, Cedric was getting the best out of Drew, and I was like, man, who did he piss off in the back? Because Drew McIntyre should be in a world heavyweight title scene. Yeah, I got nothing against Cedric, and I'm glad that Cedric and him are putting on good pay-per-view quality matches. But to me, this is a step down for Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre does not need to be wrestling Cedric Alexander. Drew McIntyre needs to be up there. I mean, what are they waiting on? Because what's going to happen? Hold on. What's going to happen is people going to forget about him, and they're gonna lose out on the opportunity with this monster. It's having him in the mid card. He should be in the upper to main event right now.
Right, and I truly believe that. I believe it's because everybody is looking at Drew McIntyre. Because if you look on commentary, they kept saying that Drew McIntyre is one of these people who's gonna that everybody is talking about. The Rock said he's gonna be a superstar. He's gonna be a world heavyweight champion. This person said he's on the rise. But to give Cedric, because Cedric put on a great match, but it's giving him kind of a rub to say, you know what, Cedric is a good performer too. You know what I mean? So if you're, because for one, Cedric Alexander was with Roman Reigns and the Usos helping out just a week prior to SummerSlam. Yeah. Now you have them putting on a great match to show, hey, I could put on a great match too.
But you know what may happen though? They may end up blowing their own wad because they're trying to push too many young guys at the same time. They were doing the same thing with Ali before he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? These younger guys, Andrade, these younger guys, up and coming guys who don't normally get as much face time, they're trying to push him up, which is good. But then again, which one you gonna do? Because everybody can't have a shot.
True. And also, I believe they're trying to develop more. They're trying to develop stars. Yeah. At this time, it's almost kind of like the same thing with the Ruthless Aggression era, when you start having people. John Cena was one of those people. Randy Orton, different people like that you starting to have to try to push them and try to make them stars. Yeah. And see what they're going to do on this particular stage. And maybe Cedric Alexander is that guy. Maybe he's not. But the match itself was good, and it's finally, I believe, Drew finally getting his win is going to move him in a different direction off of Cedric Alexander.
But they never
have to worry about that.
But they never even had a pay-per-view match yet, though. They've been feuding for a little while.
True.
Why didn't they fight on SummerSlam? Don't even get me started on some of the SummerSlam card.
Yeah, but I believe, Clash of the you can have a Clash of the Champions. Since we're going to talk about the tournament in a second, you can start talking about that. The feud can end there. You never know. But I believe the street is getting towards the tail end of that feud. So
I'm happy for Seti. I'm happy he's on TV. Saying he should have never been on 205 Live. He should have always been on the main roster. So I'm happy for him.
He's right at 205, which is hilarious.
He's a great talent. He deserved to be where he's at, and I'm happy for him. And hopefully this is a springboard for him, fighting somebody like Drew, and to put on good matches. I mean, not just to go out there and get destroyed, but actually put on a good match. It's great. Happy for those guys.
This match was, to me, the best match. Wasn't the best segment, but it was the best match from Drew McIntyre and Cedric Alexander.
He just needs to go to SmackDown. Bischoff need to get a hold of him.
Are you talking about Cedric Alexander or Drew McIntyre?
Cedric need to be on SmackDown. I think.
Let
Bischoff get a hold of him. And the rumor was that they were supposed to be doing another draft after SummerSlam, so Bischoff and Heyman can both have their own solidified rosters. So we'll see if that ever happens.
Absolutely. So the next match was No Way Jose versus Bobby Roode.
Oh my God, Skip.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah, that's all it was. It was terrible. It was terrible. All right, so the next card on the night was Lucha House Party versus the Revival.
Oh, you really did skip it?
Yeah, I skipped that because it was horrible. It was horrible. Hold on, it's basically, why is No Way Jose still there, and why is Bobby Roode? They're calling him Robert Roode. I mean, Bobby Roode is above this.
The only reason he was even on the show.
Why? Oh, because he's from Toronto.
Team Canada. Yep.
Yeah. Well, he's Canadian. Is he from Toronto?
Well, he's Canadian.
He's Canadian. Okay.
Him and old boy from TNA was Team Canada. That was their tag team.
Yeah. That's true. Other than that, it sucked. And it's funny because I'm gonna just read this from Bleacher Report before I go to the next match. It was like in a there's still work here match. I didn't even know there was still work here, but I guess so. I guess I got to wrestle. So
they took a break from chasing R-Truth around.
Yeah, basically. And so yeah, you guys can wrestle tonight because we're gonna make these guys in the next segment part of the 24/7 match. Lucha House Party versus the Revival. Chased by several other superstars, R-Truth and Carmella rushed the ring, interrupting the match between the Revival and the Lucha House Party. Liz Dorade and Graham Metallic. Carmella tripped the persistent Drake Maverick, which was hilarious because Drake Maverick is funny. I like him. While Dorado and Metallic fought anyone around them, this allows Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder to deliver a heart attack on Truth, pin him, and win the 24/7 champion, being co-24/7 champions. Truth will regain the title moments later, making him a 12-time champion. And the reason why I'm laughing, because I don't know if it was who said it on commentary, but it was like he's entering Ric Flair territory, and I busted out laughing because I'm like, it's the 24/7 champion.
I said from the moment they introduced his title, I said Truth is going to be a 30-time
champion,
24/7 champion.
As the champion and the Princess of Staten Island made their way through the backstage area, Elias came out of nowhere and blasted Truth with a guitar to win the title for the second time. The result: the Revival, R-Truth, and Elias all won the 24/7 championship. And again, the most consistent thing on Raw or WWE television is the 24/7 champion. It was good. Elias gets the championship. I guess because I'm kind of getting over Elias's character, but it was good that he got the way that he got the victory over R-Truth. He just smacked him with the championship, laid him out, got a victory. It was done.
Yeah, like I've always said, I said that the 24/7 championship is the best thing in WWE right now, and I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. You can take it to how you want to take it, but it's comedy golden. Last night on SummerSlam was ridiculous when him and Carmella took the place of the Chinese announcers. That had me dying. Like I laughed out loud.
Okay, I didn't get to see it because it was frozen. On my side, frozen.
You know how they always go up to them and they go one by one. The Chinese announce team, the Chinese announce team. I was like, wait a minute, that's R-Truth. and then they didn't even try to speak the language. They were speaking like French or something. And then they went on. Then they went on to the next people like that was normal. But then
R-Truth is to be 50, or he's almost kicking 50. The best thing on television right now. The best thing.
And you know what? He's accepted his role. He don't care that he's not doing legitimate matches. He just there to collect his check, hang out with his friends, and show his kids that, hey, look at Daddy on TV.
Yeah, but he's having so much fun.
Oh yeah.
He's having so much fun with it. I'm actually super happy for R-Truth.
Yeah.
A lot of other people would complain about this role. I think Drake Maverick is another person who accepted that role and is having fun with it.
I heard a rumor that this was his idea.
Was R-Truth's idea or Drake?
R-Truth, the 24/7 title. I heard like when they came up with it, they wanted, I guess, to kind of maybe take it seriously. And this is R-Truth's idea about, let's have everybody running around trying to catch me. You put me in different supermarkets. All this was his idea.
And that's awesome. Just like we didn't get, this is the first episode, so we didn't get to do last week's Raw when it was in the OBGYN. And he's just there with his outfit on, and I'm like, this is golden, man. Yeah. This is funny stuff. But again, that's the entertainment portion of WWE. Yeah. Keep giving me more 24/7 championship. Yeah. Keep giving me this because this is awesome.
For everybody watching, we are not going to be the people who be like, we're tired of seeing. No, we would never get tired of seeing R-Truth run around with the 24/7 title.
Oh no. You know what? And it's funny. I know how wrestling is. Everybody wants to be where Kofi Kingston is before I get to the next card. But everybody wants to be where Kofi Kingston is. Kofi became was a mid-carder who worked his behind off and now is WWE champion. Sometimes you have to relish those roles. And one thing that I like that I heard with, the 24 with Kofi Kingston was at a point where he said, I didn't complain. I just relished the roles. I kept going to Vince and said, well, can we do it like this? Can we do that? know, and eventually he listened and it worked out. And so sometimes you got to relish these roles. You know, maybe you have to be a jobber. Maybe you have to be 1, 2, 3 kid. You know, people forget that. You know, people forget that you would get before Road Dogg was part of Generation X. He was jobbing it. Yeah,
he was the roadie.
You know what I mean? So, you know, you got to relish those roles. You know, people forget, Triple H at WCW before he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He was what's it, Rising?
Terrorizing.
Terrorizing. You gotta really, you know.
We know our stuff on this channel, people. We know our stuff.
You know, terrorizing. You gotta. All I'm saying is, you gotta be able to take what you have fun with it, do what you gotta do before you get to the next level. Which brings me up to the next one, because my girl Sasha Banks is back, and this was the best thing. Oh my God, I was so excited about this. Okay, let's get to it. Fresh off a disappointing loss in the submission match against Becky Lynch at SummerSlam, Natalya hit the ring to address the fellow compatriots. The Queen of the Hearts vowed that she and Lynch would tangle again, and then discuss her late father, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and how proud he was of her, which was it was a year to the date of his passing. Then suddenly,
that was kind of hard right there. That was a little risque on their part. But
yeah, it very was. Because it kind of hit me because, you know, of course, you know, I'm a wrestling fan. I love the Hart Foundation. You know, with Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart back in the day. You know, so when she said it took me back a little bit, and I was like, man, you know, that's one of my guys. You know, then suddenly, again, the familiar music played, and then Sasha Banks returned to television for the first time since WrestleMania. The Boss attacked Natalya from out of nowhere and removed that purple, ugly, destroyed purple wig, because I'm not going to lie. When she was walking out, I was like, why does her hair look like that? Removed that, had the blue hair, looking awesome, looking beautiful. Underneath, she brutalized the gatekeeper of the women's division until Lynch hit the ring for the save. And this is where it got awesome. The original horsemen of the NXT brawled around the ringside until Sasha Banks hit the man into the ground. Well, from there, she unloaded with chair shots for about the body of the Raw Women's Champion, leaving her lines to close out the segment. Oh, this was awesome for 2 reasons. One, I love Sasha Banks. Oh my God, I love her. Sasha Banks, if you ever listen to this, I love you. And then she got to beat up Becky Lynch, which was, oh man, it was everything that I needed for the night. And then, this is not even talking about, remember, we kicked off with AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. So all of the, you know, even though we had a couple fillers, it wasn't great, we had some good television going on Raw, especially with Sasha Banks coming back after SummerSlam and completely not only destroying Natalya, but destroying Becky Lynch. Awesome segment. Made Sasha Banks look like the monster that she was in NXT. Heel Sasha was always the best thing from the women's division of NXT. With her, Bayley, Charlotte, and Becky. Those 4 made very good television back in NXT, putting her back in the role where she relished it. Makes it awesome. I was all down for it. Kudos to Sasha when she wanted to, and coming back, and they put her in a good role under the tutelage of Paul Heyman. I'm absolutely loving this.
Yeah, my whole deal with this is I was extremely happy when I was going through my feed and I actually saw that she came back, because everybody had been anticipating it because of the Twitter message she sent when she was talking mess. Everybody thought it was going to happen at SummerSlam, but it didn't. So it's definitely happening on Monday. So it wasn't a surprise, but I can understand why the crowd popped, because we all knew that eventually Becky was going to come out and Sasha was going to beat the mess out of Becky. Because for those of us like me who were tired of the man character, now we know it's finally over. Because for one, they got to keep Sasha happy, because they don't want to jump the ship, because they don't need no more firepower over there at AEW. So she's going to destroy the man. She's going to beat the man, hopefully take the title from the man and put her in a place. Because, okay, we get it. You've sold your merchandise. I'm talking about the man. You sold your merchandise. You made your cups, your posters, your TV shows. You've exploited her relationship with Rollins. You guys made all the money you can make off of this character. You even put it on the damn game. Okay, now it's over. It's over now. It's lost its luxury. And if Sasha Banks is the person to finally take that down, I'm all for it. Kudos to Sasha, and love the blue hair.
Yes, Sasha Banks looks awesome. And like I said, it was the intensity. Her hitting Becky over and over and over, and almost hit her in the head with the chair too.
Did you see Becky get mad when Sasha smacked her and she kind of started kicking at her? Those was real kicks.
Yeah, those real kicks because she hit her in the. She kind of nicked her in the back of the head. For guys,
and that's the only knock on Sasha. Sometimes people like to call her Botcha Banks because sometimes she gets a little overzealous. Sometimes it takes things too far and semi-injures people. But that's just passion, people.
Yeah.
That's just passion. Yeah. You can't control when you're going 100 miles an hour. It's hard to stop in midair when you're going 100 miles an hour. I just hope that she don't injure herself when she tries to do some of her moves, which almost breaks her neck sometimes. I hope she tones it down and just be a heel and just beat ass. And hopefully we get some good television out of this. And hopefully the man is over with.
Yeah, you was right though. Because like I said, I'm watching it. I'm over here because I'm cutting my kid's hair. I'm almost nicked my kid's head because I'm over here about to turn backflips because Sasha Banks is kicking the crap out of Becky Lynch. But when she hit her, because you can see it. Somebody filmed it. Somebody who was at the show put it on her Twitter when they're I guess they were live on Facebook or whatever. She went to go for the shoulder. In the corner of the chair, nicked her head. So you see Becky grab her head, and then when she went over to, like you said, when she went over to slap her, she's kicking the crap out of her or whatever because she really hit her, like But I'm down.
I give her the benefit. It was her first time back. She ain't been back since Mania. She probably a little excited. The crowd is behind her. Heel turning, they still screaming her name, saying thank you, Sasha. So she probably got a little overzealous. Overextended herself a little bit. Maybe sometimes you catch one. Sometimes you catch one on the chin. You just got to deal with it. It's the wrestling business.
Yeah, it's wrestling. I mean, she better be. But Becky couldn't have survived during the Attitude Era, so she better be happy.
Yeah, but she's a shit worker. She wouldn't have survived anywhere.
Yeah, I personally, I don't like Becky at all. I just don't. I don't like her. I don't like her in-ring ability. I just don't. I don't. Anyway, go to the next segment. Yeah, I just don't. I don't like it. She doesn't tell a good story in the ring or anyway. Viking Raiders squash 2 jobbers next.
Yeah, next.
And I'm getting tired of that.
I don't know why they keep making these. You know what? They think they're making them look strong. They're making them look weak.
They're not. They're almost looking like what's the it's the Ascension?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're looking like.
And the thing about it is they're great performers.
You can tell that they can wrestle, but can we get some? What's bad because Jimmy and Jay, with their DUI cases and stuff like that, they could have been guys that could have been, working with the Viking Raiders and making them look awesome and stuff like that.
Just like Heavy Machinery. Heavy Machinery is looking good from the matches they were working with Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan.
Right.
I didn't know anything about Heavy Machinery to those matches, and now I'm a fan of those guys. Not just them being goofy, just what they can do in the ring.
Yeah, their in-ring ability is awesome, but if you're going to keep having the Viking Raiders squash people, then what's the use of having them on television? Now them do house shows.
Yeah, have them, put that on Superstars and Main Event.
Right, but then this tells you where the tag team division is in WWE as a whole.
Yeah,
this tells you where they're at.
Both tag team title matches wasn't on SummerSlam.
Right.
And before we get started, I had to address the travesty that happened at SummerSlam with the most prestigious title in the business and probably the most over person to ever step foot in a wrestling ring in a long time. Shinsuke Nakamura is holding the Intercontinental Championship, and he was not on the SummerSlam card.
Not on the card. Wrestling air.
Not even backstage or promo. So I'm watching TV celebrating for somebody. Nothing. So yeah, it's. That's
the only thing I can say is Yeah. I mean, it was funny because remember I on Facebook I said, did I miss a match? Because it ended at like 9 something.
Yeah, but you know what it was? Even I don't know if you watched the pre-show. The pre-show had 3 wrestling matches.
Yeah, I didn't even get to watch the pre-show.
The pre-show had 3 wrestling matches. You had the normal 205 Live match. Then you had Apollo Crews against the person who normally does a 205 Live match, Buddy Murphy. You had Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross against the Iconics. You had 3 matches.
So you're telling me you couldn't sneak Nakamura versus whoever into the match, into the card.
The person that Nakamura's been fighting for the past month, Apollo Crews, was on the pre-show, and you couldn't
the pre-show.
I think they didn't. They caught so much flack for putting the Intercontinental Championship title change on the pre-show last pay-per-view that they didn't want to do it again. So you just kept it off the show.
So you just don't put it on there at all. Terrible. But again, I wish we could have did a SummerSlam rewind just to kind of give our thoughts on that. But,
I mean, we kind of are with this one.
Yeah. The next card, the women's tag team title match, Kabuki Warrior versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. So a week after falling just shy of winning the women's tag team championships, Asuka and I used to pronounce her name as Kairi Sane. Challenge Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I just jack up their names sometimes, but the Kabuki Warriors cut a phonetic pace early, keeping the champions off guard. Back for commercial break, though Bliss and Cross cut out the ring from Zayn. They isolated her from the Empress of Tomorrow, hoping to score the fall on the smaller superstar. The Pirate Princesses made the hot tag to Asuka. Good Lord, I'm going to get reamed in the comment section.
Did you say Azuka?
I said Azuka because I'm trying to read and I'm reading fast, which is the first time I read it, so I'm saying stuff that I normally not supposed to be saying. Because I'm trying to hurry up through it, but
go ahead.
But the action broke. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Made a hot tag to Asuka, who was put into the match. The action broke down with Asuka and Bliss parrying on the floor. The erratic kick from Asuka missed Bliss and collided with the ring post, which she really did kick that ring post. Little Miss Bliss followed up, sending the opponent to the post and rendering her obsolete for the rest of the match. Back inside, Cross delivered a net breaker. And her opponent was followed by the Twisted Bitch to retain the titles. Bliss and Cross defeated Asuka and Sane, but it was an okay match. It wasn't great, but it was good for the Kabuki Warriors to get more television time. But just to have them, they should have made it just a 9-title match, so they could actually go over. Get a win over.
True.
To push the Kabuki Warriors up, but just get them off of split them up. They're better individual wrestlers than they are.
What that is. You know what that is. Everybody knows that the Asian wrestlers on the female roster are the best wrestlers, and they'll catch a lot of flack for them not getting any screen time. So they just put 2 of them together to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Stupid. It's stupid because they're taking L's too.
Well, yeah, and this, I was mad that Azuka didn't pick up a win. Azuka,
yeah,
like
Azuka, Asuka.
I did that on purpose.
I really botched that. I'm never gonna hear the end of that too.
I heard a lot of people are upset that they lost to them because I like Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. But I know that Kairi Sane and Asuka are 2 of the most. Them and Io Shirai on NXT are the 3 best wrestlers on the roster, period, for the women. And have them taking L's to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross is a travesty.
Right. So it is what it is. It's like I said, it was good, but it wasn't great. I don't know. The women's champion, the women's tag team championship match. Women's tag team title to me is a joke anyway. It's just giving people a title.
Yeah, they're never going to recover from what the Iconics did to it.
Nah. For one, the Iconics are. Never mind. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next subject. Okay, the last one is champion versus champion match. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. United States champion AJ Styles dominated the first half of Monday's main event, taking advantage of the Universal Champion Seth Rollins' numerous injuries to ground him. Rollins, though, delivered a sling blade to spark a babyface comeback that also featured a big Falcon arrow for a 2 count. He continued fighting off Styles and set up for a big splash. The distraction from Carl Anderson allowed Luke Gallows to hop on the top apron and shove Rollins off. He crashed rear first into the mat below. Styles was unable to take advantage, though, as Rollins dodged a Pele kick. As it appeared, Rollins was en route to a victory. Anderson and Gallows hit the ring, drawing the disqualification. Ricochet made the save, taking the heels down with his lightning quick pace and elusiveness. He eventually found himself on the receiving end of the Magic Killer, though, as the OC sent him to the floor. The Heels continued the 3-on-1 beatdown of Rollins until Braun Strowman music played, and the Monster Among Men rushed the square circle. He obliterated anyone in his path, eventually leveling Styles to a thunderous ovation. Strowman cleared the ring and retrieved the Universal title from ringside, handed it over to Rollins, and the babyfaces stood tall to close out the show. Rollins defeated Styles via the qualification. The match itself was getting good. The disqualification, I kind of already knew what this was going to happen. Mm-hmm. I just wish they didn't get because you're getting engaged into the match and then the good disqualification comes in, because it was about a good, I want to say 8 to 10 minutes in, and you're like, okay, this started to get pretty good, whatever. Then you had the OC come in, they do the shenanigans. They could have just did the shenanigans in the beginning, but they do the shenanigans, get the disqualification. Ricochet come in, which that's why I said Ricochet, probably what they're going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm thinking. AJ's going to drop that belt back to Ricochet. Ricochet now is going to be United States champion again. AJ Styles is going to focus more on the Universal Championship. This is what I'm thinking. Now, with Braun Strowman coming in there, this is what I wish would have happened. Braun Strowman does this thing. Everybody gets eliminated. He grabs that title. He hands it over to Seth Rollins, right? Then he turns around and clocks the crap out of Seth Rollins and let Seth Rollins know that I'm in for the title hunt. He's still a babyface, but he's about that title life. That didn't happen. He did kind of the traditional the true babyface move. Here's the title, man. You're awesome. And then it's off. It's off.
Yeah, but we all know that Braun ain't no real babyface. He just a heel with heat. I mean, heel with that's over. So what you said probably is going to happen. I'm happy for this. This is a great way to end the show, and hopefully this is a staple of what's to come, of what to expect from Raw. They set a good standard tonight. Thoroughly enjoyed it from the clips that I have seen, and hearing your excitement about it. It
was a good Raw. No, I'm not gonna lie. It was a really good Raw. Like I said, some of the things, as far as storytelling wise, especially like I said with the Kabuki Warriors, just being there, Bobby Roode just being there and not being of any valuable resource or whatever. He's just there. Those things could have not been there, but it is what it is. It was still, all in all, it was still a good Raw. Like I said, Sasha Banks making her return. AJ Styles, the OC, from them, the way that they started to the end, that's good storytelling. It was good anticipation, still good match. Shenanigans happened, setting up Ricochet to still, be in the United States title hunt. Now you want to see where Braun Strowman is as far as the Universal title hunt. It was a good show. It still was a good show. Wasn't a great show. It was like, oh my God, but it had a great, Drew McIntyre, I forgot about that. Drew McIntyre and Cedric Alexander was the best match of the night. It was good. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was good, and it's starting to point into a good direction. So
yeah, like I said, that it set the standard and also set the standard for our show. But
right.
Unfortunately, I do gotta get the therapy. I just got a text message. I got therapy and I forgot about it. But we were done anyway. If we wouldn't have recorded 20 minutes without recording,
right,
we would have been done already. But like I said, thank everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm gonna get your social media on here for the next one, so I can have it on the screen too.
Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hitting up the channel. Because we're gonna be giving you this every week. We want to make sure you guys are commenting, because I know I was going to have comments about me screwing up names and different things like that. But make sure you guys are liking and sharing and subscribing. Then you can also like and subscribe my YouTube channel called The Dre Mac Show. So, just check us out, see how we doing, and give us your feedback.
Yep. Again, thank y'all. Peace, hair grease, and everything like that. Deuces.